Okay, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to your summer session of the African American Experience. My name is Dr. Rounds, and I will be your instructor. The purpose of this short video is to acquaint you with the course, specifically how we will be conducting the course, giving you also a sense of the work that you will be asked to do. And so let's get right into it. Now, first things first, let's clarify that this is a completely online course, and we will not be meeting by any virtual classroom means. No Zoom or anything like that. Everything that you will be doing largely on your own schedule. Now, there are deadlines, of course, for the assignments and the quizzes, but throughout each week, you will have it at your discretion at what pace you want to proceed. Now, being an online course, most of it will be conducted through Blackboard. And this is what you will see when you go to the Blackboard page for this course. You'll be met with the syllabi. Now, I'm going to switch to the syllabi on a Google Doc just because it's a little bit less awkward to move through. I don't want to spend too much time on the syllabi here. You've been through courses before. You kind of know, what a syllabi, consists of. But there are a couple of things that are of some value. On the first page, you'll find my identification information, my name, of course, but more importantly, my email, which is going to be the best way to contact me about anything. I check my email all throughout the day, so you can guarantee that whenever it is sent, even if it's in the middle of the night, that I will get it before too long, and I always make a concerted effort to respond very quickly. If we need to meet virtually, for a longer discussion about anything, just let me know and we'll arrange that. That's for anything that can't be conducted, simply through email. There is no textbook for this course. All the readings are provided to you by me, and I'll show you what they consist of in just a moment. So you won't have to spend, one more penny than you already have to complete this course. Now, this is the course description, and you can read through it at your leisure. But in a nutshell, this course tries to provide an overview of the African American historical and cultural experience in this country. If we were in a classroom right now and I had more time, I would go on and on about the fact that, in the current political climate, there's basically a war that's being conducted against African American history, against this kind of course, and it only emphasizes just how important a course like this is, especially at an HBCU. But again, I want to keep this short, so I'll kind of resist my desire to get into a poetic uh, discussion of the importance of the course and everything. Now, a lot on the syllabi, as I'm sure other professors have told you, is really stuff that we are required to put on there, and it's not all that thrilling for you to have to hear about. So I'm going to go right to the one part of the syllabi which is probably of great interest to you. Now, all this information is on the Blackboard page, as I'll show you. But there's a course outline here at the end of the syllabi, and what it does provide for you are the due dates of all the things that you will be asked to complete. You will be asked to complete 2 written assignments, 2 quizzes, and 1 larger project at the end of this short 5-week term. So essentially, you'll have 1 thing to do per week. So it is rather reasonable. And as you'll see, the amount of reading I'm asking you to do, likewise, very reasonable. So if you are like me and you have, used to keep like a calendar or something like that, where you had all your deadlines, you can get that information right here. This is how your grade will be calculated. The 2 quizzes combined are 35% of the final grade. By the way, those are online quizzes, which are open notes, open source. So they're not really even quizzes. They're more like homework questions. There are 2 written assignments. They compose 35% of the course. And then the project is 30% of the course. The project, by the way, it's just a more extensive assignment. Now, what this means, however, is that with only 5 things being due, you gotta get them in. If you miss 1 assignment or 1 quiz, you're not getting an A, and almost certainly you're not getting a B either. You'll get a C, most likely. If you miss 2 assignments or 2 quizzes, perhaps you can save yourself with a D, but that's not a situation in which you or I want to be. So, this is a short course, but you got to kind of bunker down and get this stuff in. Things like plagiarism, using AI and stuff like that, obviously should go without saying that they are not allowed. But until that situation presents itself, I'm not going to comment more extensively about it here. Obviously, attendance is not a concern. This is an asynchronous online course, so we're not meeting physically or by virtual classroom. The rest of the syllabi is just, no, there is one more thing. And you see, this is in red. It's boldface and it's italicized because this is the most important thing that I want to emphasize. All coursework is due on the date specified. Now, if you have a documented reason why you could not get the work in on time, then we can talk about providing an extension for you. So if you have medical hardship or personal hardship, you do have to keep me abreast of that. I don't need to know your private information. I would never, even if that was legal, it is not something that I would seek. But you kind of have to keep me abreast of what is going on. And you do have to provide documentation of this in some way, shape, or form if you want to be granted an extension on your work. I wish it wasn't the case, but unfortunately, there are students that abuse that and will outright lie. So the documentation, providing some way to verify, your claim. That's to, ensure that, that you are being honest and responsible as a student. And again, just kind of keep me aware of anything like that that you know is going to be coming. Obviously, unforeseen things happen, and we'll handle those as we go. All right, so how do you actually access the course material? Going back to the Blackboard page, just go over here where it says assignment course content, and here you go. Now, from week to week, you'll have a different set of material to read through. Of course, you're free to read through, future weeks' material as well. And the reading itself and all the material that I am getting to you, it's real simple. It's real old school. You'll see the links for it on Blackboard, and that just basically opens up a Google Doc. And then you read through the material. I try to keep it engaging with lots of images. And of course, I provide also some web-based material as well, videos and things like that. So whenever you see something linked, please give it its due attention. I can tell you, for instance, that the last thing that's linked in this first week's reading, that one there, that is the basis of one of the questions I'll be asking you on quiz 1. So you can see, for each week, you'll probably have 2 documents like this to read through. Nothing that is too lengthy. A heck of a lot better than some incredibly expensive textbook that you would never use again. This is also where you will find your assignments. Now, in the same email that you're getting this video, you will also be getting another one that is about assignment number 1, just because it's a little bit tricky. So I want to provide some extra instruction on it. The only thing that is not up right now are the quizzes. And that's only because from semester to semester, I change them up a little bit, the questions I ask. But I'll guarantee that the quizzes will be up at least a week before they are due. And probably, more than that. I haven't posted all the reading material yet, but I've posted the first 2 weeks of material, including the first assignment. And by the end of this week, I anticipate, that, and by this week, I mean, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I anticipate I'll have everything up. If not by the end of tonight, I'm making this video on Wednesday, so who knows? By the time you watch this video, I might have everything up for the entire course, and and with the exception of those quizzes, you can go through and get some work done. Okay. Now, how will I keep in communication with you? I'll be sending one email update per week, including, and those email updates I put out by Sunday afternoon. Sometimes, if I want to not have to worry about things during the weekend, I'll send them out on Friday or something. But by Sunday afternoon, at the latest, you'll get just a short email communication from me that just kind of reminds you about what it is that we are doing that particular week and the work that is coming up on the horizon. Anyway, I think that's basically it, at least in terms of you getting started and getting into the material. Um, this is again where, if we were in person, I would speak for a while about my enthusiasm for this course and how much I enjoy it. But again, as promised, I want to keep this as short as possible, so I'll refrain from doing that. But obviously, this is kind of a strange way to do a course, 5.5 weeks online and everything. But I hope that you enjoy it, that you do get something out of it. I will say that this is a course that if you don't put anything into it, you're not going to get anything out of it. But if you do put some time and effort into it, you will get something out of it. And I do hope that you find you'll definitely will learn some things. Hopefully, right? But hopefully, even more hopefully, you'll enjoy some of it and find it interesting and take that with you. And if you do, then I've done my part, and I will consider our little venture here a success. All right, so you'll hear from me on Sunday. Until then, welcome to the course. Yeah, let's get it going.